Hello everyone and welcome to my first video of 2024. The most asked question I got last year was how I do my digital layouts. Now in this video, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you exactly from scratch to the final layout how I do it. I won't be showing you in this video how I do the collage based on this layout, but probably the next video, this is what will gonna be. This is what I will be filming, the creation of the final collage artwork. Okay, so let's dive into it and start the process. The first thing that you need to consider is the picture that you will be using. Right now I will be doing Einstein. This is a pretty complicated portrait. I would advise you to start with something easier. I don't know, like a butterfly, maybe a bull, I don't know, anything that you want, maybe an animal. Usually you should start with something that is easy to create rather than a portrait. A portrait, it's pretty complex to do, and you might be demotivated by not being able to finish it. So I would recommend to start with something simple, but the process is the same. So I will be showing you the most complex possible layout that you can create, so you can use it for your pieces that are easier to do. So the second thing that I want you to consider is what type of photo do you use. Photos are copyrighted, so you need to have rights to use that photos. Keep that in mind when picking your photo. Okay, so let's start the actual process and let's jump right into Photoshop. Just a second to start the recording on my screen. Alright, so step number 1. I throw this picture in Photoshop. I will duplicate this layer, just like this. Now I will empty the background so I can actually delete the layer. Okay, so yes, I want to delete it. And what I like to do, the second step, because the first one was too important, I want to go to canvas size and resize this to the size that I actually want to do my final artwork. And in this case, it's 70 centimeters on 90. Yeah, I'm from Europe, so I'm working on centimeters and not inches. Alright, so on step number 2, I will be resizing the picture just to make sure I have the right composition as I want the final artwork to look like. Okay, in this case it's pretty simple, so this will be the final step. Right now I will be doing another duplicate of this layer and I will be desaturating this one. You will see that I work with 3 layouts. One that is a color picture, one that is desaturated, and the final one is the one that I will adjust. You will see exactly how. All these 3 layouts I will import later into Illustrator, and over there I will start to make all the lines, all the shapes that I need to fill later on with my collage. Alright, so this is the second layer. I will be image adjustment, desaturate this one. Right now I will be creating a new duplicate. Okay, so duplicate number 3. On this one I will adjust just a little bit the levels because I want a picture that has more contrast to it, because I don't want to have too many shades of gray. I want to have as less as possible, maybe only 3 or 4. Of course this is not the case now, but this will later on be easier to handle. And probably you'll understand why just by looking at my process. Okay, so I think I need a little more of darks. Okay, something like this. I like this one. And the next step is to apply this effect. Let me just go to filter gallery, and I will adjust and I will apply this cutout filter, and you will see that I already have. Let me just zoom out a little. As you can see, I already have some small outlines that I can recreate for my collage artwork, for my final layout, but I think it's a little bit too detailed. So over here you have the number of levels, so you can see I can work with how many levels I want to have. Usually I go for 5, but I don't know, it depends on the layout and so on. And then I will be playing a little bit with the edge simplicity, because I don't want to have this like this. It's too complicated. I won't be able to recreate all these shapes. So I just play around with this edge simplicity to the point where I am satisfied with the result. Over here I'm somewhere between 5 and 6. I'm not sure which one to pick. I think I will be picking 5. And if I go to edge fidelity, you will see that it creates more of, again, it will be more detailed or a little bit more abstract. So I will be sticking with 2 because I think this is okay. And this is the layout that I will be applying. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this effect is that it destroys the eyes. As you can see, the eyes don't have the same shape, so I have to correct this thing for later on, but also you will understand why. So what I like to do is to take this eraser tool. Okay, so this is the eraser tool. I wasn't remembering actually the name of this tool, but anyway. So I clear a little bit the eyes, just like this. So I can have this, I don't know, light in his eyes, because this really looks better. And the eyes are the most important. So if you do the eyes correctly, you can have some mistakes on the other parts of the face, but for a portrait, but the eyes are really important. So yeah, this is how I do. So basically, if you will see, just like this, I just erased his eyes and I use the layer in the background. Now what I want to do is export all these pictures and drop them into Illustrator. So let's start by exporting this one. I go to export, quick export as PNG file. So I will be calling this Einstein 1. Okay, I just turn off this layer and then I just go to export the other one. So let's see, export, quick export as PNG again, Einstein 2. And of course I will also be using this color one, and I will export it to Einstein 3. Alright, so that was all for Photoshop. Now let's jump into Illustrator. Over here I just want to create a new layout, a new artboard as it is called right here, and I will be using the same size that is the size of my artwork, and it's 70 centimeters on 90 centimeters. I just create this artboard. I think artboard is called here in Illustrator. Let me just see. Yes, this is an artboard. In Photoshop it's a canvas, over here it's called an artboard. Anyway, now I want to drop these 3 layouts that I already did into Illustrator, just like this, and I want to position them exactly on the center of the artboard, just like this. Okay, right now as you can see I can use any of these that I will like. I like to lock them because by mistake you can move them and it will ruin all your artwork. You don't want to get to the half of the digital creation of the layout and find out that one of the pictures was moved and you draw a part on this one and the other one on this one. So I would recommend just lock them and draw over them like this. I will be creating a new layer where I will be doing all the sketch. I will be using a red outline and an empty fill, and let's start doing this. Alright, so I will be picking this tool right over here. I think it's pen, yeah, it's the pen tool. So I will be start doing the eyes first. And as you can see, I am just following the shape that I already have. Now I will be doing the white spot in the middle of the eye, and also this small white spot over here. These were actually the lights reflecting in his eyes. I don't know if you know the story behind this photograph of Einstein. I think, as I remember, it was his birthday and the photograph asked Einstein to smile, and this was his reaction. So yeah, this became pretty legendary, so this is why I picked this one. Okay, so I will be creating the other shapes right now. As you can see, sometimes I do not respect exactly the layout, the cutout layout that Photoshop did. This is because I know it won't make any sense of having this small gap over here. So yeah, in time you will understand when you can not respect the layout, but I would recommend at first to completely follow just the layout that you export from Photoshop. Alright, so let's go on with this layout. Another thing that I sometimes do is something like this. When you have a big area of the same color, I usually cut it into two, or I don't know, maybe even more pieces, just because I want to use different colors later on. So this is another thing that you will be learning in time, but for the first time, again, you can use it just as the layout you got out of Photoshop. Now, I don't think I will need to be explaining all this process because you will see it and I don't want to get boring. So right now I will fast forward and I will explain later on the rest of the process. Oh, now I forgot to mention one thing. Please make sure every time that you close your outline, when you create this line, please make sure that the last click is on the first point so that you will have a closed polyline. Okay, so it's been more than a day of work. It's been actually about 12 to 16 hours of work. As you saw, the process is not that complicated, but it is time consuming. Then again, if you want to have great results, you need to put time into it. So right now we have this layout right here that we can already use to sketch it on the canvas, or I don't know, on a piece of paper or whatever you want to do with it. This is the sketch. These are the outlines that I will be using later on to fill with colors and small pieces of paper, in my case, because I do collages. Basically, each one of these I will fill with the color that right now we will be implementing. Okay, so as you can see, we have this layout right here. We have also all the others in the background, but right now we will be focusing only on this black and white cutout layout. So to start this step, I will be going to this right here, which is called Live Paint Bucket. So right now I will be filling all these shapes, all these polylines with color. In this case, I will start with the grays that I already have in the layout that I've been importing from Photoshop. And what I will be doing is click on Alt, click in the middle to select the color, and then click again without pressing any other key to fill the shape. So this is pretty much what I will be doing, just like this. Here you will have a great example and you will understand exactly. So I will press the Alt key. I will click on this to select the color, and right now I will click again without pressing any key right over here. So this makes all the shape filled with that color. So what I will be doing from time to time is close all the layers in the background so I can see what I have already filled and what I didn't. This is again a process. This won't take that long, but it's again a repetitive process. I will fast forward again this evolution, but I guess it's pretty clear. Anyway, if you have any questions regarding any piece, any step of this process, just let me know in the comments and I promise I will answer all of your questions. So let's start doing this. As you can see, I am relying pretty much on turning on and off these background layers so that I can see what I have filled and what I didn't. Now here's a quick reminder, save this file with a different name because you will be doing a lot of steps and you won't be able to undo all of them. So just to make sure you have the previous file, save it and you can anytime go back to it. Save this one with another name and then the colorful one with a new name. Now I will drop my color palette in this. No, actually what I will do first, I will create a new layer, and in this layer I will drop my color palette. These are the colors that I usually use. These are the colors that I most often find in my magazines, in the magazines that I will be using. Of course I won't be sticking exactly to these colors, but it will help me create an image of how the final artwork will look. So right now I will pretty much do the same. First I will lock this layer just so I cannot move this color palette. And right now I will start adding colors just the same as I did with the grays. I will just pick this light paint bucket. I will go on the layer that I previously did, this one, and I will start adding some colors. First I will start with the darks. This is how I usually do it, and go to the bright colors. Alright, so this is the final form of my layout. Basically what I will do right now, I would actually print this layout, this colorful layout, just to have it as a model for my physical artwork. I would also print the sketch. I will transfer these outlines to my canvas, and based on these two images, I will start my physical artwork. Hope you enjoyed this, hope you like the final form of this layout. Let me know if you have any questions, let me know if you try to do something like this, if you think it's suitable for your art. I don't know, let me know your opinions down in the comments. Alright, so that is it for today, see you on the next one, and until then, stay creative.